Welcome to Soni Irabor Live. Tonight, we're again continuing with the state of the nation. And how do we always do that? We just get some people's shades of opinion and then look at the way things are going. Elections are coming up. 2019 is around the corner. It's less than a year away. And so many things do happen when election year, develops. What do you get? Occasionally, you get the kind of things that have happened in the last 2 weeks, cross-carpeting, people moving from one party to another. This happened in 2015, where so many senators and politicians moved from PDP to APC. Now, third year into APC's rule, this is also happening now, where so many senators and members of the House have moved to PDP. Now, I don't know what the reason is, but I want to state from history that this has always been a case where when hopes and expectations are not met, usually there are disappointing reactions, and that usually causes confusion. It creates an army of sorts where people really, especially the electorate, are not too sure what is going to happen next. What's in it for them? How do the people, the average Nigerians, react to seeing the people they elected there move from one point to another? It's another big question. Then the people that move, that cross carpet, what exactly is their own role in nation building or governance? Why am I asking this question? Simple. If I am a politician, I'm representing a group of people, before I take a decision to move, I may go to my constituency and discuss with them. Has this happened? If it has not happened, why is that so? Now, you also have, when I talked about shades of opinion, there are columnists, political commentators, young people, older people, matured audiences who feel that Nigeria is not getting enough of what it deserves. Is Nigeria for all or for a few? Big question. So I have a guest in the studio today. He's written a book called Loud Whispers, and he's also a commentator on political issues and goings on around the communities around him. In fact, he's nicknamed the Duke of Shomolu. It's interesting that he nicknamed himself that title. I don't know why, but we'll find out in the course of this program. He is Joseph Edgar. That's his name. He's a columnist. He's a political commentator. He has said a lot of things that are now drawing attention, people's attention to him, and I'm going to see how he reacts to that. Welcome to Soni Irabor Live.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Let's agree here. No, sir.
Okay.
We are calling this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's look at the state of the nation first before we go into Loud Whispers.
Yeah. What about State of the Nation? What do you want me to say?
Yeah. What do you have in mind?
It's exciting.
What do you think is going on?
Everything that's going on right now has been expected. You get so we are having an election year coming, a very strategic election year. So it's only just would make sense for us to witness and see these kind of things that are happening. If these kind of things were not happening, I'll be surprised. I would think there's something wrong. Do you understand? Yeah, it's expected. In fact, it's predictable. It's yes, I used the word exciting initially. I think I'll put that back. You get it's almost boring in its monotony. Do you get? So right from 2015, we knew that the same actors would do what they're doing now if they didn't get the opportunity to achieve whatever it is that moved them to where they are moving away from. So do you
think, therefore, that the move was selfish or on common interest?
Purely selfish. There's nothing like common interest there. And that's the some with this country. I have some very strong views. So I don't know if I can say them.
Go ahead.
You see, there's nothing like common interest, that pulls all these political actors together. So what we see here now is ego-driven ambition to actualize very, very personal agenda. All couched under the common good that we seem to read. And that's why we're seeing this kind of things going on.
Now, when I look at Nigeria, I compare it with countries in South Asia, in Asia generally.
Yeah.
Korea, South Korea, for example.
Yeah.
Or Singapore. Then I look at Western countries, United States, Other Asian countries will be India and maybe China. They all have some level of respect for the rule of law, that irrespective of who you are, what position you carry or you occupy, you cannot just break the rules like that. You cannot just take laws into your hands. And corruption charges, you can't get away with it if you're caught. How do you see Nigeria ever capturing that level of, you know?
We may not see that in our generation.
Ouch.
That's honest God truth. Maybe in our grandchildren's generation, we may not see that because it pays the strong political actors to have weak institutions. Do you understand? It pays them to have weak institutions because when you have weak institutions, then you're able to implement and assert your own personal agenda.
So you think the institutions we have here are weak deliberately?
Deliberately weakened.
Really?
Deliberately weakened. And they will remain so forever.
Forever.
That's honest God truth. Unless there's a radical change in attitudes, in mindsets, do you get, of the people, because ultimate power resides with the people.
Yes.
It doesn't reside with political actors.
Do people recognize the fact that they have that power?
They need to be educated and enlightened. And that's why you see now that education is being stunted. I was coming from somewhere this morning, and then someone said, we had the summit yesterday. We had what we call the Afang Summit, where we discuss politics, and after that we eat Afang and drink palm wine. And in that session, we had a presidential candidate who came to speak with us. And then someone had mentioned and said, look, how come we always have two head of states now, two presidents now, who are ministers of petroleum? How come these presidents were never...
What was the first one? Who was the first one?
OBJ, Obasanjo.
Okay.
And then we have our Lord now.
Okay, concurrently as president.
As president,
Okay. Yes.
Now, so how come no president has said, I want to be Minister of Education? Do you understand? So as long as people remain semi-educated, or we have a large population, a large section of our population totally purely illiterate, because they have problems, because they won't really understand their rights as citizens, and they won't be able to ask or demand, you get, for service from those who have put themselves out for service.
So who will bear the cat to get the people to at least face the need for awareness creation, the need for understanding what their role should really be? Who will bear the cat?
The problem is that I don't think there's any cat to be bailed, though. Honest to God truth. I think we would evolve naturally.
It takes time to evolve.
It takes time.
Evolve,
yes, I wanted an article, and we talked about the tyranny of the majority. Do you understand? So we have a large population who do not understand the powers that they hold. Do you understand? But we have seen some pockets of revolutionary movements in business, in the economy. For example, the entertainment sector.
Yeah.
For example, the pension industry. Do you get? You find out that these industries are doing very well. Do you get? But we're self-evolving and pushed by the followership, not leadership. And then the government and leadership scramble
which means
to this thing.
There was an effort at leadership by example.
No. There was effort by the followers to seize the mandate by themselves.
Okay, in entertainment, that was the case.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
So and the government now we now see government struggling to want to catch up with belated regulation. Do you understand? So I'm beginning to think that we will get to that point. Maybe not in this generation, do you get? It will get to that point where the followership will begin to evolve, will begin to start asking questions. Do you understand? Why will I take 4,000 naira for me to vote? Why you give me 4,000 naira? I do not understand that. You get? So I think we'll get to that point. Maybe not in this generation, like I keep saying.
It's interesting that inducement, the way you just brought it in now, inducement seems to just play one strange game. You give me 1,000 naira just to vote. What happens thereafter? And then the 4,000 naira I can spend maybe even just buying a meal that I will finish within 2 days.
So you ask yourself, what's the minimum wage?
Exactly.
What's the official minimum wage? So if you give me 4,000 naira, which is a major percentage of my monthly salary, just go there and turn print, I'll turn print. Do you understand? So that I'm not thinking about what happens next.
That's because the populace doesn't understand what his role really is.
I cannot understand that because of illiteracy, because of poor education, Do you understand? And because of the deliberate, do you get the deliberate suppression, you get, of the people by the political actors who need that they would need that level of deprivation, do you get, to continue to entrench personal interest.
It sounds so woeful. But you've been a professional in the banking industry.
Yes, sir.
Insurance.
Yes, sir.
And what else?
I've done everything. Investment banking, basically.
Investment banking.
Yeah, investment banking.
All right. Let's just take a breather from politics a bit
Yes,
and
sir.
go into that aspect of it.
Okay.
Are you saying, therefore, that what is bedeviling political atmosphere is not also happening in, say, investment banking or even in the banking sector?
I don't think so. I do not think so. Yeah, it's happening, but not as widespread. I don't know, because I always tell people, and I've noticed this, because I've done 22 years in investment banking. If you recruit people through nepotism or any kind of this thing, you get monkeys as employees. When you get monkeys as employees, you can't compete in today's economic space. Do you understand? And then, so employers of labor, entrepreneurs, are beginning to see this. Do you understand? So I'm seeing situations whereby, oh, you're my brother, you're my cousin, you need a job, I'll do the work and I'll give you the money, but just take care of the organization.
I'll tie that to education later on, because we're going on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll continue from that point he just raised about nepotism and then other aspects of it.
The Lagos State government has assured homeowners using boreholes that it has not authorized any staff or agent to close down any borehole in the state. The general public is hereby advised to report any such person to the nearest police station or dial these toll-free lines 767 or 112. Ministry of Information and Strategy, announcer.
So, yes, we were whispering just now. This is Soni Irabor Live, and I have Joseph Edgar, who, as we just heard a moment ago, he's an investment banker. He's a columnist also. He wrote a lot of articles. And it's from that we're going to, later on, pick some bits and pieces or nuggets of his ideas and his critique of political landscape in Nigeria. Now, Mr. Edgar.
Sir. Sorry, what's sir?
Nigeria is a vibrant country.
Very.
Full of very talented people. Why is there no cohesion of quality intellectualism?
Sorry, come again.
Nigeria is a vibrant country, full of great minds, talented people, but there's no cohesion of intellectualism.
There is. That's why we have not failed. That's why we are not Somalia just
Are you
yet.
sure we have not failed?
We have not failed there. We are still hanging.
Right.
We are still there. Let's go through it. If you see the kind of progress that we are having in this country, at times when people complain about this country, I don't think it's all that bad news. There are things that are happening. We have very phenomenal people. There are things happening in the economy. There are things happening in sports. There are things happening in entertainment, mostly entertainment. There are things happening in technology. There are things happening in IT. You can see the way the telco firms are moving. There are things happening in pension. Do you understand? So it's because of the kinds of people that we have.
But it's not trickling down to the ordinary person. Isn't that what's supposed to make the nation great?
Well, you have a point there. You have a point there. And that's where the folly of leadership comes in.
All right, now, you are a columnist.
Yes, sir.
You've written a lot of articles, and that formed the basis of your, should I say, compilation of your articles that made Loud Whispers.
Yes.
Why the title Loud Whispers?
Because nobody knows me. Do you understand? Again, so I'm whispering, but the things I'm saying are loud. Do you understand? So when you hear things I've said or when you read what I've said, you're asking yourself, who is this person? Do you understand? I don't know him. But the things he's saying is loud because I am not connected to any grouping. Do you understand? So you can't tie me to any grouping.
So you're free to
I'm
make...
free. I'm a free agent.
Should I say objective observations?
Very, very objective observations.
Are you sure about that?
Very, very objective observations from the war front. Because we are the ones that are feeling it. I live in Shomolu, so I see things. I go to Mushi, I see things.
And you appointed yourself the Duke.
The Duke of Shomolu, yes.
Yes. Let's hear that. What does that really mean?
The Duke of Shomolu.
Where's your dukedom?
It's not physical.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Ideological?
It's ideological. Do you understand? It's representative of our aspirations and feelings. Do you understand? As Nigerians, you get, who have been robbed of our future. Do you get? So it's a voice for the voiceless. That's why I call it loud whispers. Do you get? Because we are whispering. You get? And as it's going daily, it's getting louder and getting louder and getting louder.
Okay, the man on the street may hear the loudness of that whisper.
Yeah.
Okay. The man on the street also sees the defections we've talked about at the beginning.
Yes.
And the impeachment that constantly goes back and forth.
Yes.
He does not understand why that move is made.
Yes.
Because it doesn't trickle down
To him. Yes.
in whatever clear terms of benefit.
Yes.
So what should he do?
If you get enlightened, honest to God truth, and I don't want to use some very strong words against my people. Our people are kind of lazy in quotes. Do you understand? So if you're not being educated by government, as it were, or any other outside force, then you should get enlightened. Do you understand? Our great-grandfathers were not educated in the English way, but they were enlightened. They could sit down and have conversations about their immediate environment. I read history in University of Ibadan. I was a very good history student in secondary school. I was a very good history student. So we learned about empires built by our great-grandfathers who couldn't write or read. And barely, maybe I think in the 12th or many century ago, the Benin Empire had diplomatic relations with Portugal.
Yes.
These people were not educated in the real sense of the word.
But they understood what
But they understood government. They understood how to put the political structure in place. They were enlightened. Do you understand?
Now that you say this, sorry to step in there, the kind of school I attended in those days taught me civic responsibility.
God bless you. Civic duties.
Yes.
Even me too.
I don't see that happening anymore. Or am I missing something here?
It's about what I said earlier on. Do you understand? So those who are oppressing us, do you understand, have to make sure that level of enlightenment is kept at that level, so that you'll be able to stand up and say, ask the question why. Do you understand? So I'm paying tax. Why am I not getting some benefits from my wherever? So if you're not taught, if you're not exposed, and you refuse to expose yourself, do you understand? Then you'll be able to ask those questions.
How representative is the political tripod, executive, assembly, the legislature, and the judiciary? In this whole thing, do you see the judiciary being allowed to play enough role?
I'm sorry I'm laughing.
No, that's what I mean. You're free to laugh.
It's a funny question, because let me tell you why. If my appointment as the chief judge of a state depends on the governor of that state, how, for the life of me, would I be independent? And I wrote an article about this when the EFC chairman was having problems with the Senate. You get? And I said to myself, it will be disastrous for me as Senate president to approve or and sit in the chamber that will approve the appointment of a chairman of an EFCC who has vowed countless times to fight corruption.
Yeah, but okay, what's wrong with that? If I vow to fight corruption, isn't that why I was appointed?
No, but so if I'm the target of your vow, as a human being, I will approve you to be a chairman. My brother, that's why we say that. I will say that even the post of the chairman of the EFCC should be subject to election, to the people. Let people vote the chairman of the EFCC.
So not by appointment.
Not by appointment. So the chairman of the EFCC will be answerable to the people, to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not even to the president. Are you seeing it now? So because if you see what's happening today now, do you understand? Senate says, "Well, I'm not approving you." So we have a chairman that is not approved by the.
But he's functioning.
He's functioning, but he won't have his full allocation of funds or whatever it is. And the president says no. The president says, "Don't worry, stay there. I'll take care of you." Do you get? So can that person investigate the president if the president has a problem? No. Are you seeing now? So that's why the institutions must be strong. So what we have here now is weak institutions and strong personalities.
So what structure are we following? United States, British, or?
My brother, I don't even care about structure right now. Whatever is we are following now is not working.
It's not working.
It's not working. So we need to have our own homegrown structure.
How can we achieve that?
Maybe we should even legalize this corruption.
Legalize
Maybe.
corruption. How is that possible?
I tell you. I don't know if I should say some things on this TV station, no. But I don't know any Nigerian that's collected national passport at 18,000 naira. I have not seen. I don't know. Maybe they are there. I have not seen.
Because passport is supposed to be free or what?
No, passport is supposed to be 18,000 naira. It's on the signboard there when you go to the office there.
Okay.
They say passport is 18,000 naira, but I don't know anybody that's collected passport for 18,000.
See, are you trying to make an indirect claim that passport is more than that?
What I'm saying basically is that we need lesser government. We need lesser involvement of government in some things. So let government regulate.
Okay.
Let government provide regulation. Do you get it? And then allow people to run what's the word now? To run
all these different agencies
and all of that.
Yes.
Do you understand? So let's pull back. Let government pull back. Let government automate.
Okay.
Let be a lot of automation, because when there's a lot of automation, there's what's the word now? There's fewer human elements, and then when there's
maybe the financial sector appears to be working in that direction.
That
now,
direction,
right?
yeah.
Cashless.
So for example now, if you went to London, for example, and your bus something is exhausted.
Yes.
Do you understand? So there's nobody to talk to say, oh, please help me, let me pass. Because it's automated.
Yes. So in fact, okay,
There's
no favoritism, there's no breaking of the rules.
Nothing.
Okay.
Do you get? Because it's automated. So if, for example, you want to get your international passport and the fee is X and it's automated, do you understand? Once you slot in your card or wherever it is, do you understand? You get it. If you don't get the exact wherever, you don't get it.
So the elections coming up in 2019 is a pointer to the fact that there's a bit of automation required. Everybody's saying, go and use your PVC. All right? And by the PVC, maybe by then, well, I'm being asked to take a short break now. We'll come back with the PVC later on. We'll be back right now, just about a minute or two. We'll be right back. And then we'll take calls thereafter. As we expect to take calls, we'll continue our discussion on PVC. Okay, PVC, have you registered yet, by the way? We're told that very soon the doors will close on PVC. If you haven't registered, you better go and register. Now, with PVC, following your automation request theory, will PVC work without any fear or favor?
Well, you see, they say garbage in, garbage out. So the process has to be streamlined, automated end to end. Do you understand? When we used to work in banks, those days when you work in investment banking, we used to have a skewered compensation system. Do you get? Where they will say, okay, do not tell anybody. You have brought in, you've performed, so I'm going to give you a check. Do not tell anybody. Keep it confidential because you don't want the next person to know how much you've paid you. You get, and then any which way the information always comes out. So I went to my boss and I said, look, okay, how come this information always? Because I was,
even though we said don't tell anybody.
Because I was always at the receiving end of very good checks, because I was a very good salesperson. But if I realize my next my brother, as long as a human being writing that check, do you understand?
That's very defeatist, I think.
This was like 10, 15 years ago. Because as long as there's a human being in that process, from decision taking to when you get your check, once there's one human being there, information would come out. So in the same way in the PVC thing, you get, if we do not automate it end to end, just as long as there's that human element at any point in that this thing, we always have problem. But then again, the PVC will further minimize. So what we begin to now see, we'll now be seeing election malpractices not at the point of the ballot or at the point of the counting, but at the point of the rules months before the election. Do you understand? So because you realize that you can't play with this in this space anymore. Do you get? So like, for example, I was involved in a small election, in my school alumni. Do you understand? And few weeks to the election, the regulation came out that only those, you can only physically come and vote. So if you're in diaspora, you cannot vote. If you're in Ogun, you cannot vote. You must physically come to Lagos. And I looked at the list of registered voters, 700. 600 of them were outside Lagos. So they're taking me out 3 weeks to the election. So at that point, you don't need to go and start manipulating election votes. You get, so now it has become more creative. Do you get? So the PVC would minimize all of that at the point of casting and counting all of that.
Okay.
You get? But to push us back to at the other side, you get, where things can be manipulated through strategy, through unfair regulation and all of that.
Based on the fact that you had said earlier that the average Nigerian needs to be properly educated,
yes,
don't you think it's required also that, talking about PVC, I think the world should know what is PVC, how does it benefit the average Nigerian who has a card or a PVC, you know, that how do you make him understand that what he is carrying is his weapon of his contribution towards a properly managed electorate?
I'll answer that question two ways. Now, first, let me just in lighter mode. A lot of people that I know, a lot of people that have that PVC just gone there because they realize that they can use that instead of a driver's license. They can use that to cash a check. They can use that to do. It better their lives in so many ways. So that's why they go get the PVC. But seriously speaking, you see, there has to be a law of enlightenment. There has to be a law of enlightenment. People must realize very quickly that PVC is power. Do you understand? People must have that confidence back that without that PVC, I can affect decision taking in this country with just that one vote. And the system has to give us back that confidence that once I vote, it will not be manipulated. Do you understand? You know?
Okay, it looks like the lines are getting ready. Hello? Okay. Now, the lines are open. Please call us. And the number is also showing on the screen. Call us. Let's hear your views on what you're listening to right now. We have Joseph Edgar. He's a columnist, but he's also an author. And his book, called The Loud Whispers, has been released. Hello. How are you?
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm liking your program, sir.
Thank you.
I'm liking what the other bros are saying about the PVC.
Yes.
How which Nigeria can be like that? I don't think we'll have problem in this country, sir. How which we can really go through that process about the PVC and all of that. Maybe Nigeria will be better for everybody. I don't think we'll be facing what we are facing.
May I know where you're calling from?
What?
Please.
Well, I'm calling from Lagos, from Ojodu Bega.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Mrs. Ade Benjamin.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good point you've made there. You heard what
I
you
heard
just
that very
said.
well. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what's your comment on that?
We're basically on the same side of the fence. You know, we have to have leaders who have the confidence. Do you understand? Because unless we go through that, we have leaders who don't have the confidence to face an enlightened electorate. Do you understand? So we have to have leaders who have the confidence do you understand, to allow for serious civic education.
Civic education, very serious. What about leadership by example?
No, not like that.
Ah.
No, because we have been waiting for leadership by example that we find ourselves in all these problems that are facing in this country now. We don't need leadership by example. No.
Well, you need leadership that obeys the rule of law at least.
We need leadership that, we need strong institutions.
Okay.
So strong institutions will birth leadership by example. So if you know that as a governor, as a senator, as a council member, if you run foul of the law, decision will, like for example, I do not think Americans are very happy with Donald Trump.
Hello.
I do not think.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. This is Edgar calling from Ikorodu.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. In Ikorodu here, we are facing a lot of hell about the PVC.
Why? Tell us. Wow.
I don't even know, because when you get there, they will tell you to come back. They will say they will do it, or you will come back. Go to the government. They won't even give you anything at all.
Okay. This is generally in Ikorodu?
I don't know my another part.
What's your area?
Ijede side.
Ijede side.
Ijede.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
We will try and follow it up by what you've just said now. We'll follow it up and then see how we can get back to all of you, okay?
More kudos to your help, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Trying. I usually watch your program every night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, sir.
Now, that's another aspect again. Availability of the PVC seems to be another big challenge.
It's an ongoing process now.
Ongoing process, but it will soon be deadlined. So if people are saying they go queuing, they don't get, people don't come bringing it, what's going to happen? What if the deadline comes?
And so those are people to go and vote now. I mean, voters for Fayemino, Ekiti State. I don't think they're up to 200,000 people.
Okay, we have another caller. Good evening, how are you?
Good evening, sir.
How are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from, please?
My name is Oluwaseun Ilari. I'm calling from Alapore Kitu.
Okay, go ahead.
What I want to discuss about is about that PVC that you are talking about. I don't know that the PVC program is still on. And the way they are doing it in this country is very, very, very unfair. Because it's every blessed day that people clock 18 years old. And they said if you are 18 years old, you are permitted to register, you are permitted to go and have your own PVC. So I don't know why things are difficult to do in Nigeria like that. That's the reason why I called you.
That's a very strong point.
Hello?
Thank you for the very strong point you have made.
So maybe you people will do something and government will think about it.
Okay. Now, there's something interesting in what he said.
Yeah.
Every day somebody turns 18.
Yeah.
Now, that means, are we sure we have enough PVC to follow that rudiment of daily, updates?
Of course, you see, the PVC...
And then the next one, of course, availability of what even exists.
Existing, God bless you. What we ask is PVC finite in number. Is it like cash that you say, January when we are budgeting X number of PVC? No, it's not finite in number now. Do you understand?
No.
So as you're clocking 18, so you make yourself available. You go to the place and say, I want. So let it be that, like what we're hearing now, that I've gone and you've told me to come back and I don't have, which is the inefficiency in the system. You get, which is up to INEC, you get to do what they need to do. You get to make sure that there's efficiency in the system. Okay,
one thing we're going to promise our viewers is the fact that we will get the INEC chairman to come over and talk to us. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Very clearly, yes.
Okay, sir.
What's your name?
My name is Mrs. Ozemenam.
Okay, from?
I'm calling from Ikotu.
Okay, go ahead.
Please, about the PVC.
Yes, PVC.
You know, they are saying about it. We want to get it. We are finding it difficult to get it. And you can see in northern side, they are even going to the house to house, begging them to collect it. But this Lagos here, they are finding it difficult. How can we get it easily?
Okay, we've taken note of what has been said by the last three callers, for that matter, about PVC. is not available in Ikorodu, and somebody is also saying that every day there's somebody turning age of 18. Is it available for such people? And you are now also saying in the north it appears that they are begging people there, but here it's not even available to be begged for. So all of these points we're taking into consideration, and we want to follow up. And we will hope, we promise, to bring an update to this. First, I was actually making a statement earlier that we will try and involve the INEC chairman. We will fly to to Abuja, or if possible, if he's in Lagos, he can be our guest in the studio here, and many of you can then call him. But it is our duty to make sure that we get the relevant guests on our show. Okay? Yeah. Right. Well, okay. Let's look at Loud Whispers. Okay. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
How are you? We are hot tonight.
PVC things.
Yes, from Ikorodu. Okay.
Yes, Agbede, particularly.
Agbede, okay. What's your name?
Atoyebi is my name.
Okay, Atoyebi. Please go ahead.
Yes, good evening, sir. We have been struggling to collect the PCV, and it's very difficult for us in Agbede area here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Essentially, they asked us to go to Ikorodu, near the general hospital where the INEC is.
Okay.
And we always go there. They say we should be coming by 4 a.m. in the morning.
4 a.m.?
Up to now. 4 a.m. That we have to go and come and register our name. Come and put our name down first.
Okay.
And when we go there, there will be nobody. They will tell us that there's 4 a.m.
Okay.
And that's why we are finding it difficult for us to register. Instead of them to bring it to near us here, we have to go there by 4 a.m. and there will be problem before we even reach there. They say the people have registered, they have filled up. And that is the problem we are facing here.
Okay. We've taken of that. There's Jede and yours is Agbede.
Agbede.
Okay. We'll follow it up and we'll get back to you. All right? So, well, time is almost up. Well, not yet that up, but I can assure you that this program is designed to get to you, enlighten you, and make you get involved in the whole thing called not just governance, but the polity. Your civic responsibilities must be highlighted properly. Now, just before we go, let me find out from you. The Loud Whispers.
Yes, sir.
You set the book, put it together, you launched it. Where's it going to go from here?
We're going to put it on stage.
Stage?
Yeah.
Making a film of it?
No, stage. This is the second edition. The first one, we put it on stage with Alibaba. Because podcast satire was beautiful. So I've seen Oshobole on stage, Faroshe on stage, Buhari on stage, Obiji on stage, and the Musa was beautiful. Now, this time around, I'm thinking along those lines too. I mean, for us to do something maybe some months before the 2019 election. Yeah. And now, this is a 250-page volume. Do you understand? We've sold over 800 copies last 3 weeks. Okay. It's just moving up to it. So I'm thinking very seriously that maybe we should just put it on stage so that people can just come out and see some of these political leaders and laugh, like the one who's about to defect now from Akwa Ibom. You're not from Akwa Ibom State.
Okay. Akwa Ibom is coming to PDP.
That's what we're hearing.
PDP to APC.
To APC. That's what we're hearing. And it's been fun seeing Akwa Ibom on stage, coming to explain to us why he's moving camp, so that will most likely be.
Okay, let's look at youth leadership or a young president. Yeah. Again, more than 5, 6, or even 7 of them have expressed interest. To run for president. Yeah. Led by, if you like, Donald Duke, who just crossed 50, and Kingsley Moghalu and co. Yeah. What do you think?
Interesting enough, we had one of them come to the Afang Summit yesterday. Okay. Dr. Fagbenro Byron. Okay. Do you understand? And what came out of that conversation, we had 2-3 hours with him. What came out of that conversation was the fact that, for a fresh candidate in quotes, to attempt to make a small dent, we had to have an activist candidate. Do you get? Not a traditional structural candidate. We needed
do they stand a chance with the kind of polity we have?
No. They stand a chance to be brought to the table if they do their homeworks well. Okay. So use the frustration of the people as fuel. You get to galvanize attention. Do you understand? They might not win the election. They get,
but at least they draw
have
attention
enough
to-
influence to say, okay, come to the table and let us negotiate.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think our so-called young, fresh candidates should be thinking of.
So what do you think is going to happen in 2019? People are afraid that it might be bloodshed, there may be so much confusion.
No, there's no bloodshed. You know, Nigerians, we always get to the precipice,
Especially,
and then we'll come back.
yeah, but with the carnage that has gone on, it's been worse than ever before.
No, it's not carnage, it's not bloodshed as a result of political activity, if I may say that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get,
yeah.
You know, so it's the normal.
So I believe now that your sense of optimism is very reassuring.
Yes, I don't think there'll be any politically motivated bloodshed as a result of 2019 election. Just we're going to wake up that morning and everything is calm because somebody's going to win, and we have a fair idea as to who will win the way things are going right now.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you will not use this program to say that yet. Okay. So I want to thank you so much
Thank you
for
for having me, sir.
honoring us. I mean, as always, very vibrant, very lively. And for you out there, the average Nigerian, I just want to tell you, see, I'm groping for my camera. Anyway, not to worry. For you out there, the Nigerian man, it's in your hands, really. You know what Nigeria needs. Nigeria needs to be the great country it is as an African giant and as a strong member of the United Nations and as indeed a powerful, populous country, one of the 10 most populous countries of the world. Play the role that will make you proud to be Nigerian. Think, not ethnic, not tribal, not religious. Think patriotic, think Nigerian. Let's get this thing going well. Let the train ride smoothly. Thank you for being with us on Soni Irabor Live tonight. Sunday evening, next Sunday is another one. Bye-bye now. And once again,
Thanks.
thank you very much. Thank you, Sasa, again.